Crystron Halqifibrax changes everything. This card is absolutely absurd, and now that we're finally getting it in the TCG, I felt we can finally discuss Halqifibrax, its impact on the TCG at this very moment, and how Crystron Halqifibrax changes everything. So Crystron Halqifibrax, originally being named Crystron Needle Fiber, is a Link 2 Water Machine Link effect monster with 1500 attack. It has arrows bottom left and bottom right. It requires 2 monsters including a tuner, and it has the following effect. If this card is Link summoned, you can special summon 1 level 3 or lower tuner from your hand or deck in defense position, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. During your opponent's main or battle phase quick effect, you can banish this card. Special summon 1 tuner synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. You can only use each effect of Crystron Halqifibrax once per turn. If you ever thought about a synchro player's wet dream, this is that card. The first thing I want to focus on is special summoning 1 level 3 or lower tuner from your hand or deck. Obviously, this is the most impactful part of the effect, especially because it has no restrictions other than it cannot activate its effects this turn. Now you may be wondering, well, if it can't activate its effects this turn, it's just another body. What's so great about that? Just because it can't activate its effects on field does not mean it cannot activate its effects from graveyard. And if you consider the wide pool of good tuner monsters with either grave effects or when they're revived have more impactful effects, oh man, now we're talking with Crystron Halqifibrax. So some cards to take note of, for example, is Glowable. This is probably going to be the most widely used card for Crystron Halqifibrax. It's completely fine if you draw it because it is a 1-card Crystron Halqifibrax. If you summon it from your deck, you can link the glow up bulb into a Link Kuriboh, use the effect, summon the glow up bulb from grave, and then you just link into a Boral Sword. The thing is, Crystron Halqifibrax was made before they started putting restrictions on these type of effects on Link monsters. So for example, if we take the Raid Raptor Link that has not been released yet, however we might be getting in Duel Overload, you can use that card to summon a Blackwing Zephyros the Elite from your deck. However, the problem becomes you can't use it for Link material. That's where that card and Halqifibrax differ, because Halqifibrax doesn't have that Link restriction. Whatever you summon off this card can be used as Link material, and that's probably the biggest reason why this card is so absurd. If you can only use the monster summon as a tuner for a synchro summon, then that would completely change this card and its impact. However, that's not the case, so we kind of have to deal with the fact that this puts insane amounts of resources onto the field. So clearly the most basic interaction is you can use any tuner and any monster, getting an immediate Boral Sword, or any Link 4 for that matter, which is an absurd amount of advantage. Okay, so you're telling me 1 card Link 2 equals a Link 4, okay, sure. But it gets more insane than that. When we start considering what other cards you can play with Needle Fiber or Halqifibrax for some more insane combos, it becomes more absurd. Before we continue guys, something important to note is TCG Player has 10% kickback all weekend. This means if you buy $100 worth of cards, you get $10 credit to spend in the future. So make sure to take advantage of this deal by using my link in the description for any of your TCG Player purchases. With that guys, let's continue the video. Let's take Ib the World Chalice Justisher for an example. If you summon Ib, you have an insane amount of advantage from there, because Ib is going to search World Legacy Guard Dragon, then you revive any dragon from your grave, link into Needle Fiber. Because Ib is a tuner, you go Chainlink 1 Halqifibrax, Chainlink 2 Ib, or vice versa. You get a World Chalice Guard Dragon from your deck, and you get the normal monster from your deck. I'm sorry, that's a bit unfair. So you don't even need the normal monster anymore in order to do the full combo, because now you just summon Crystron Halqifibrax, and that gets your Flambeau Guard out of your deck for the normal monster for the combo. So from that point, you link the World Chalice Guard Dragon, the normal monster, and Halqifibrax into a Link 4 like Apollosa to give yourself protection from a card like Nibiru, and then you use World Chalice Guard Dragon effect from your graveyard, reviving the normal monster you summoned off the Halqifibrax, and then you have full Guard Dragon combo with an Apollosa on field. That's insane how much advantage you're gaining from this play. And so because of all of this, I I feel like you shouldn't sleep on Halqifibrax. Basically, whatever combo you can think of, you could probably throw a Halqifibrax in there because this card is so generic. Any deck you can play this in, 100% play it in. A deck like Salamangreat can't really use this card that effectively. Orcus can somewhat use it effectively. Striker definitely loved this card because you normal summon any hand trap while you have any monster on field, and that's a Boral Sword right there, making for easy OTKs. And then from there, the main deck I think will get a huge buff from this right now is Safer Thunder, because by playing Safer Thunder, you can use Halqifibrax in your combo and easily make Ib or use Ib for Halqifibrax to keep pushing. We also have to keep in mind the other effect, which is during your opponent's main or battle phase, you can banish this card, special summon Tuner Synchro from your extra deck. That effect's actually pretty absurd as well, and let me explain why. So regardless of the fact that you don't have like the greatest targets in the world, you didn't need this effect for this card to be so good. You can summon TG Wonder Magician, which can on summon destroy a spell and trap, and then when it dies, you draw a card. You can summon the new TCG exclusive Desert Locust, which if you summon it off of Needle Fiber on your opponent's turn, you can use Desert Locust in order to discard a card from your opponent's hand. Now, it's not random, but I mean, it's still a card out of their hand, which can be impactful depending on the matchup. There are other targets as well. If you want to summon Formula Synchron and just get a draw, that's totally a play you can do, and then Synchro Summon during your opponent's turn. It's not just limited to Glow Up Bulb or Flambeau Guard. If we want to go more specific into a specific deck, let's take Zombies for example. You can summon Glow Up Bloom with Crystron Halqifibrax. So let's take an example like this. You normal summon Unizombie, you use the effect, sending Overworld Banshee. Overworld Banshee is going to get you Zombie World, and then you reveal a danger. At this point, you're going to link into Halqifibrax. Halqifibrax is going to get you a Glow Up Bloom from your deck. From there, you just link the Glow Up Bloom into a Link Rebo, and now because you have Zombie World on field, you can use Glow Up Bloom. You can summon a Doom King Ballardrock from your deck. So that's another perfect example of just how good Halqifibrax is, and you still have 2 link materials at this point. If you want to go an even more generic route, you can summon Ghost Ogre off of Halqifibrax, making Halqifibrax just another form of disruption. I don't feel like my video alone is going to get across the point of just how absurd this card is for the format. You will just have to find out in March when we actually get this card. Now remember, in that set, we're also getting a ton of other Link monsters, like 36, probably every Link Vrains Pack 3 monster, every Link Vrains Pack 2 monster that we haven't gotten, and every Link Vrains Pack 1 card we haven't gotten. They're all going to be in this set. This format is entirely going to change with the release of Duel Overflow, and because we're getting so many Link monsters in that set, but more specifically Crystron Halqifibrax, everything's gonna change with this card coming out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to click on the end screen right next to me to check out one of my most recent videos. And with that, guys, I hope to see you soon.